It's the guts and it's the glory. Stripes 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's the handwritten letters from home. It's the sleepless nights alone. Newborn baby you left at your wife. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down his life. It's the red, white, and blue. All these stars and the stripes. The swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California. Mr. Red, White, and Blue laid down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, all these stars and the stripes.
Battle on the Homefront. I got a great show today. Big shout out to OKGOP TV, Chairman McClain for letting me give veterans a voice here in Oklahoma. My sponsors, Barrage Coffee, Active Duty RX, American Wholesale Hemp, Prater Roofing and Construction, and Heathen Laser Engraving. Thank y'all for supporting the show. Y'all stick around for a good one. Battle on the Homefront. We're here with Kelly Hall, homeless military veterans. We've been chopping it up for the last 30 minutes and definitely laughing. So, what's up, brother? How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Come on. Give us a little backstory. Tell us what's going on.
So, I started the organization. My parents got a divorce whenever I was younger. My dad ended up being a homeless veteran. And I would go with him to the VA all the time. And at first, it really wasn't a big deal. I was like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of people here. Then I found out they were homeless as well. And when I was working with a couple of people with my dad, they ended up basically not really wanting to help him. And I started talking to people in the hallway over the years, and they were like, well, I live right by I-35. I'm waiting to get on the HUD-VASH program, and no one really cared. So I started really advocating for that. And then in 2013, I was in a relationship, and they died in a plane crash. So basically, I felt like I needed to give back to the men and women that risked everything for us. So,
sure. And you're currently in right now,
yes.
Right? National Guard?
Yes.
Oh, they're just wilding out, not caring, hands in the pockets, just
not saluting.
Like, y'all should hear this story. This man, and he's a PFC right now. How long you been in? 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
National Guard in Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I wish we were recording whenever we were just talking about how much this dude's just wilding out. Y'all E4s that were E4s that thought you were wilding. No, tell him, bro. Sparky, right?
Man. He makes the E4 Mafia look soft.
This dude is full throttle, all gas, no pass, son.
Favorite answer is yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
You can do push-ups? Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I get my hands out of my pockets.
So right now we're working on doing a affordable housing program. I know there's millions of them out there, so I'm not really reinventing the wheel. I'm just taking their mess ups and seeing where they failed and make sure I succeed at it. There's a lot of different programs doing what I'm doing, but they're not doing it how I'm doing. So we got some trailers donated. Don't have
A bunch,
land.
right?
Yeah,
Me and you
we got
talked
a
about
bunch
this.
donated. We're working on trying to get land donated. So my goal is once we get land donated, with you being a veteran and you're in our program, within 3 to 5 years, I want you to own that
That's
trailer
awesome.
home and the piece of land
That's
that you're
awesome.
on. So basically, I'm working on doing like a trailer park community, and then you end up owning.
That's cool. That's
So,
cool. So you're
yeah.
really needing people to donate land. That would be benefit. And you're doing
Yes.
it like.
There-
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You-
No,
you
no,
go ahead.
please.
So it basically like it's not cheap doing it. I work 3 full-time jobs. I work in the military. I work at the prison, and I also work for a towing company. I'm an account rep. So a lot of it I fund out of my own pocket,
Yeah.
and it's hard.
I believe it.
It's extremely hard.
And we-
Sometimes I let my insurance lapse to make sure that I'm helping veterans. So
No, I see. So when he and we got hooked up through a mutual friend, John Neal, and I met John Neal on TikTok, and I love it though, bro. And then John Neal is actually on his way right now. He's about to be. I'm mentoring, coaching him to be the CEO of his own company. He's about to have a coffee company, and he reached out to me and said, "Dude, I talked to somebody. I got to get you in contact with him." And we actually spent 2 hours talking on the phone for
yeah,
the first time. If you get me on the phone for 2 hours, like we're in some good conversation. Everybody knows how busy I am, and I could see your passion, your drive, and what you're doing. That's definitely why I wanted you on the show. But you're doing like so much. Like you went to the Hilton, right? Was it the Hilton? It got all of. Please tell us about that.
So at the Hilton, I got all their blankets donated, sheets, pillows, like so they went in and basically remodeled and got all new sheets, bedding, everything, and I ended up getting that donated. There is a
I would have never thought of it. That's perfect, dude. That's
I
so
mean, they're
smart.
just gonna throw it away anyway.
Where'd you donate them all to?
So me and my mom actually went and passed them out to the homeless under the bridge. We just went and found homeless.
Yeah.
Like out in the streets, with it snowing, the weather being like it has been in Oklahoma. That was like a very big deal to try to help them stay warm. No one really thinks about that.
No, I never thought of that. That's so. It's like it opens up your perspective to so much stuff of what you could do to help. And not only are you helping veterans, you're helping Americans here that are struggling, and that's powerful. You're already a soldier, so we know you care. And then, so what else you do though? You're looking for buildings that are foreclosed.
Yes, basically, like what our biggest issue has been is no one really wants to support us because, like, right now I have rental houses that I'm paying out of pocket to house veterans. And everyone that's messaged me on our site or anything is like, well, where's your physical address? There's a gentleman that has let us use his old church. So basically, when you donate something, that's pretty much where your donation goes. For example, for Thanksgiving, OU, the basketball team had donated turkey, stuffing, stuff like that. That was all catered. None of it had been open, and we had went downtown and made to-go boxes and passed out to the homeless.
Cool.
But our biggest thing is pretty much finding a building. No one really wants to fund someone that's not an actual building where you can walk into.
Right. And you're finding a lot of buildings though that are trying to get like either they're foreclosing. I mean, I know that you've shot back and forth messages. Me and him is talking all the time.
So Oklahoma County has about 6,500 properties that they own. There is about 3,200 of them that is on the abandoned website.
Nothing's getting done with them, right?
Yeah,
Nothing.
our state, they would rather tear down history instead of letting other people come in and rebuild.
So are you in contact with them? Are you push that for them to say
Yes,
this and this is
definitely.
what's the climate like on that?
So right now I'm working with House District 1, and a couple of the people have COVID in the office, so they're out for a little bit. But I'm working with them about trying to get something going, get that off the ground to where we can help our homeless. Oklahoma's in the top 10 of the most homeless people in our state. I've reached out to the governor and the mayor, and Stitt really wasn't interested in hearing anything. I had to stay. Holt was pretty interested, but I had a couple of meetings with him, but because of COVID, we've always had to cancel.
Yeah. Dang, that's. Have you done anything up in Bethany?
I haven't done anything in Bethany. A couple of years ago, we had a family that was in need of toys and stuff for their kids. The mayor of the village, Kathy Cummings, she wrote them a personal check and everything to help make sure their Christmas.
Well, I think what we could do with that is, so KP Westmoreland, I know me and you just talked about a second ago, he absolutely cares about veterans, wants to help them. Me and him are building a memorial up there, Oklahoma KIA for OIF and OEF veterans in Bethany, and he wants to get back in any way, so I'm sure that we need to facilitate some kind of meeting with us three and see what we can do up there, because I know KP is 100% behind the veterans. So, but we're gonna go to a quick break. Y'all check out ActiveDutyRx.com, one of our sponsors.
Introducing all new, safe, natural relief. A cannabinoid-rich, clarity and focus formula when it matters most. You've got a job to do. Anxiety isn't an option. Programmed to keep you moving. A product exclusively manufactured for Active Duty RX by Cantech Labs.
Battle on the home front. We're back. My good friend here, Kelly Hall, homeless military veterans, the founder, doing amazing things. And I definitely want y'all to support him, help him. Y'all know that's what I do on this show. I bring in nonprofits and I try to help veterans and to have a place to tune into, to find these options, not only to get the service of the nonprofit if they need that, but have a place to go to help our brothers and sisters here on the home front. I think it's so important, and what I love to do here, and we talked about this earlier, is I don't mind bringing in nonprofits. Battle on the Home Front, my veteran outreach program, is actually an LLC. I'm not a nonprofit, and I do that for many reasons. But I think it's important to bring in all the nonprofits so everybody can have a place to tune into to figure out these resources. So, and then you got some other good stuff going on with, and you just got a bus donated.
Yes, we got a bus donated to us. It needs brake lines done, it needs 3 batteries. I'm pretty sure the mechanics racked up a pretty big deal.
But hey, there's somebody up here that does free mechanic work.
But the bus is down in Austin,
So we have to get it
I
up
have
here.
to, yeah. So it's already at the mechanic shop. Again, I pay for everything pretty much out of pocket. So we do have like a text to donate number and stuff like that. So,
What is it?
The phone number is 405-300-1819. And you just text donate and then the
Boom.
amount you want to donate, and it goes directly to the organization.
What do you want to do with that bus? What's your
So
mission? with it?
the bus, there's a lot of different things we could do with it. The main thing I want to do is, so whenever it's cold outside, we're able to fill the bus up with jackets we get donated, socks, anything we get donated, and the windows fold out. So we're able to just have people line up at the bus and just pass out. We could do like toys for tots, stuff like that. Pass out toys to families in need, water. There's so much you could do with it.
Did we talk about this? I thought me and you had a conversation about with that bus to be able to transport people to the VA.
Yes.
That was a conversation we
Yes.
had, correct?
So
We have long conversations. So.
Yeah, we have a lot of conversations. So the VA really doesn't offer transportation like they used to. So basically, it has the wheelchair lift and all of that. So it will be used. That if you call me and you're like, "Hey, I need a ride to the VA. I don't have the funds," we come and pick you up and take you to the VA.
That's awesome.
So you don't have to worry about spending money on an Uber, Lyft. The bus is for the people. So
Yeah, that's all. We the People bus. I like it. I like it. So what are some of the other businesses that have donated to you to give back to help?
So
And what
OU
are they donated?
OU has they donated food. Crest Foods, they donated $5,000.
That's awesome.
Crap, I just said their name too. The ones that donated the socks.
Sparky, you remember? How dare you?
It's,
We got guests in the crowd today. We got in the seats.
It was Del Rogers Training Center.
Oh,
They
yeah.
donated 5,000 pairs of socks. Since it's been cold out, that's a very big thing for the homeless in general. Is they can use them, like they said, as gloves, socks, all kinds of things they do with them. So, and then there's people that's donated toys. The Texas Military Department's donated toys for the veteran families in need. So we've gone past those out.
That's awesome. Now, and me and you talked about this a while back ago, and we both concur on this, that the Salvation Army, one of the largest marketing schemes that ever happened, they are not Army, and I didn't know this until, like, I think you too, right? Like, I didn't know this until way later in my life. I'm like, Salvation Army, that's not even like a branch of service. Like, I thought the Salvation Army was a branch, right? And so they were donating, or they were having like a fundraiser kind of deal for.
So they had a fundraiser, and it was for homeless military veterans. And I had asked one of them about it. I was like, "So who are these funds going to?" And they were like, no one could really answer that question for me.
To their CEO.
And I was like, well, you know, the name of my organization is Homeless Military Veterans. And the guy was just like, kind of very shocked. And now they tweaked the name a little, but
Sure.
it's just for homeless veterans instead of homeless military veterans.
Yeah, I could see that. I would love to see, and we talked about this too. And I did have a meeting a while back ago, and I was talking to this guy, and they basically wanted to go in and do Salvation's Army business plan, and hire all veterans and be able to employ veterans to do that.
So that's what I've been looking at working on. Is I want to do like a thrift store for pretty much veterans, but not necessarily just veterans. If you came to me and you were like, "Hey, I got a job interview and I can't afford clothes," okay, pick out what you need, and
Right.
we just give it to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's all donation. So what I don't like about Goodwill, the Salvation Army, stuff like that, is they take your donations and they sell it. Yes, I know everybody needs money, but there's other ways to get money.
Yeah.
Like, you're taking something that somebody gave you to help somebody and you're profiting off of it. You should be helping that person, like not just.
Well, and I
trying to
understand in
get
a
rich.
sense because it is a business though, and I understand. And I got to get you hooked up with Travis Johnson. He's one of the. I had him on like maybe my first or second show. He is the founder of the Nonprofit Architect. I could barely say that. Nonprofit Architect, and but he's really good in structuring and helping that, and that's what he told me about on the Homefront. Even though it's an LLC, that's what he told me as well. He said, well, it doesn't matter if it's a nonprofit or LLC, it's a business.
Yeah, they're
right?
both still businesses.
And because he asked me, he said, well, where are you getting this money at? Because I'm doing all this giveaway, I'm doing all this stuff, And he's like, well, where are you getting this money at? And I was like, I pay for it all. And he's like, no more. You know what I mean? You're not doing it. You got to, and he did tell me some very good stuff about a sustainable nonprofit or business, whichever one. But and how it has to regenerate and all that. But I need to get you hooked up with him. I think he could be a good mentor and a coach for you.
Well, we've did fundraiser events and stuff like that, and no one showed up. Like,
Yeah.
we did a fundraiser event online, where people just went online and they bidded on stuff that they wanted, and
Nothing.
not even a single person clicked the link. And
Really?
so, yeah. I do all of my own marketing. I do all of my flyers. Everything you see on the veterans page, I do all of it.
That's awesome. Hey, we're about to go to a quick commercial break. I actually forgot something out in my truck that I'm going to present him today. So y'all stick around. Check out my sponsors, Barrage Coffee. Check out barragecoffee.com. And after these commercial breaks, we're going to restart this. Battle on the home front. We're here. I got Sparky with me. And a little funny backstory is me and him had a little tiffle or whatever you want to call it.
Little squabble
Little
online.
squabble. Me
Yeah.
and him had different opinions, and it was really cool because we ended up running into each other up here, and we got both perspectives of it, and I understand where he's coming from, and so it was really cool. He's a brother. He's a fellow veteran, Air Force and Army. Probably should have just went to the real military branch right off the bat and joined the Army.
No.
You really got that backwards. If you wanted to do nothing, you should have went to the Air Force.
I did a whole lot of nothing in the Air Force. It was great. I loved it, man. I truly enjoyed
You did
my
work with
service.
SOAR, though.
Yes, and I did work with special operations on both ends,
Yeah.
Air Force and Army.
Cool, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was great. I loved what I did, but man, they burned me out on the constant deployments. So now I'm old, fat, and injured. It's all good, but hey, I'm here to talk about DC.
You wanted to hit that table, didn't you?
Yeah,
He does, so
really
he
was.
does a show too, and we were talking about it. And then I got on somebody in my last show, as y'all seen on the show, because they were just hitting the table, I'm like, stop. And I had people call me that actually today, and they're like, listen, just a little thing. Can I get you like a mat? My mom called me, and she said, can I get you a mat for that table? Because like, and then I had another guy call me, and he was like, man, I had to turn my surround sound off because when that did in the table, it was.
Yeah,
So-
when I saw it, I looked at the pedestal, and went,
I know. No, so you just come back from DC.
yes, I just arrived back from DC yesterday. I went Tuesday night, went up there, scouted the Capitol, looked for places to film with a partner of mine that I work with on YouTube. and we're just like, we're gonna stay mobile because this wasn't going to be a stationary thing. We knew it was going to be fluid. The morning of January 6th, we started out by the Washington Monument at Ellipse Park. They were going to have speakers there. They had Alex Jones. They had.
Oh, was he there?
Yeah, Alex Jones was there talking about how they're turning the frogs gay and all this other stuff. That guy's my spirit animal. And they had some other speakers, and of course Donald Trump was going to speak that day. We went over there just to get a feel of the crowd. We got to see a lot of patriots start to get angry with the police officers as they arrested one of the people who were there who was trying to enter the George Washington Monument. And that really started off the day telling me this wasn't going to be your average right-wing gathering. Normally, right-wing is very pro-police, but there's definitely a huge anti-police sentiment with the right-wing, especially in D.C., because over at Freedom Plaza, or as they like to call it now, Black Lives Matter Plaza, the D.C. Metro Police are actually personal bodyguards for Antifa.
I seen them escort a whole bunch. Is that actual? And I seen the
that's
video,
real.
so I know it's real. I know it's real.
That's literally what's going on, and Americans are getting sick of that. Look, Americans generally, we don't like authority too much, but when laws are set, we want to follow them. We want a nice civil world, and if it's rules for thee but not for me, nah, that's not how America gets down. So there was this huge anti-police sentiment going on, weird vibe. We ended up when Donald Trump started speaking, we headed down to the Capitol to get set up. We decided not to go to the front of the Capitol where they had all the scaffolding up for the inauguration. Went to the back to where your senators and your representatives show up to enter the building. And everything was all nice and peaceful, cordial. There was metal barricades set up around the perimeter of the building. Police were out there, or as I like to call them, the DC brown shirts. And but still, things were kind of calm up until VP Pence showed up. And then the whole crowd started getting amped up. The energy changed immediately. People yelling at, do your job, audit the vote, stuff like that. And then some provocateurs showed up, started egging on the crowd. They started pushing on the barricades. And this is after Vice President Pence made it into the building, of course. Started pushing against barricades, against police. And eventually, the police realized they were not going to win. So they consolidated forces, fell back to the top of the stairs. Everyone moved up to the stairs. Everything was fine. And then they started throwing flashbangs. And I think they kind of agitated the crowd a little bit. And,
that's going to gas it up.
Yeah, things got a little out of hand. But unlike the left-wing protests, when flashbangs come out, right-wing guys just go, oh, well, that's cute. and it was really kind of a weird thing, People got pepper sprayed, and all they did was pull out water and wash their face off and suffer through the pain a little bit and move on.
Charlie Mike.
Mission. There you go. So these guys and gals that were there, I mean, they were dedicated. They really wanted to be heard. Things got out of hand when they breached the Capitol. I had my fill. I wasn't going to cross that line. But I got talked to a lot of great Americans. Got talked to some people probably not so great, but still, wanted to hear their perspective. Got to meet an American hero, someone who I hope to get you connected with later. That'll be Staff Sergeant Robert Bartle. Those of you, look him up. I had to. Wow, amazing story. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and as they were in there, I walked around the front and see what was going on. Saw people scaling the side of the building to hang banners up.
What was your first thought when you seen that? It's happening.
I'm like, so this is how the revolution starts. This is how CV2 starts. The Civil War, man. It's I don't know if that's really going to happen, but with the backlash we're seeing right now coming from the left politicians, they're currently trying to expel multiple senators and representatives from the body because they dared support Donald Trump. They're wanting to impeach Donald Trump under the 25th Amendment. And yeah, more of that to come. I'm not really sure how all that's going to pan out. And this may be old information by the time this show is published, but they're not coming just for the politicians who supported. They're coming for you and me. They're coming for everyone. And this is a scary thing. This is the dystopian world that America has devolved into, and we've got to get patience activated. So ready to stand up, but you gotta realize there's consequences. So you better win. And that's
For sure.
that's really the feeling going on right now, especially with a lot of people in the Patriot community. There's a lot of people that are kind of hesitant because they're worried about those consequences. And so, but you and I, we took an oath. We swore to uphold and defend the Constitution. It's all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yep.
And we gave that blank check, and well, it's that opportunity may be coming. Unfortunately, something that I don't want to see, and I'm sure you don't want to either.
No. Anybody, and
Yeah.
anybody that's been to war
Don't want it anymore.
We've seen the kids over there in the theater,
Yeah.
and all that, and the last thing we want is our children to deal that. And
Exactly, but my concern is, what world am I leaving for my child,
Children.
for my child's children
For sure.
down the road? And that's what a lot of people we need to focus on these days. Is it's not about us anymore. It's about the next generation
For
and
sure.
the world that we're leaving
For
them.
sure.
And that's why I went up to D.C. because I knew the media was going to skew it. I'm a domestic terrorist because I was at a place.
Right.
I didn't do anything. I filmed.
Right.
And
You didn't even go in the Capitol.
I didn't even go in the Capitol.
Let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
Right now.
But I'm a domestic terrorist because I showed up at a place. Thousands of people are labeled a domestic terrorist by our own government for showing up to a place. That's wrong.
That's really wrong.
And so that it's not the battle I wanted, but it's the battle I got.
What else you see up there? What's your inputs? I hate this so much that I had some people I seen on my Facebook today saying that Ashley Babbitt was a terrorist and she does not deserve a military funeral.
That right there, okay.
Oh.
Look,
That is on another level of stupidity to say that. In my
they're
opinion.
playing a political game is what they're doing, because that is what the DNC has said. That is what mainstream media has said. In June, it was righteous to burn private buildings and businesses to the ground, just as long as you said the phrase that pays. If you were screaming Black Lives Matter, you could do anything and get away with it. If you say free, open, transparent elections, you are now a domestic terrorist because you are going against what the establishment elite wants. And that's the problem. I'm not going to say that there was fraud that may have changed the outcome of the election, but I do find it very, very suspicious, a little sus, if you would.
A little sus.
Little
No
sus.
cap.
Yeah. When they screamed for 4 years, Orange Man bad, Russia, 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 we need to investigate everything under the sun, but now that their side won, nothing to see here. They're going to Chief Wiggum this stuff. You know, they're going to be like, oh, nothing to see here, move along.
Right.
And no, that's wrong. We want standards. I don't care if Donald Trump won or lost, but I want to know the truth. 133 million registered voters, 155 million votes.
Yeah.
The math don't add up.
We got issues somewhere.
So if you registered 22 million people the day of, bravo. I want receipts. Call me the tax man. I'm here for your receipts. And that's the way we all should be right now, in my opinion. If you like Joe Biden, cool. If you don't like Joe Biden, cool. You should all come to the same conclusion. We're here for the Republic. We're here for our country. And we want to make sure that our country is ran by the ideals that it was founded under. And if we can't get that, then the experiment known as America is done.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I know you jumped on my last little segment I had here, but I definitely want to bring you on. I knew your input on DC and you witnessing that. I definitely want to get you on another show, and we will. But plug away your YouTube channel, your OnlyFans.
Man, that would be a horrible OnlyFans. In a string bikini, not pretty. But hey, look, you can find me on youtube.com/aircraftsparky, and very shortly you're going to also find me on youtube.com/OTU Media and Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, this is the Battle on the Homefront handshake.
By God.
Hey, y'all check out my YouTube, Battle on the Homefront TV. Please subscribe. Trying to grow that channel. We'll see y'all. Hey, thank you all for watching Battle on the Homefront. Big shout out to my sponsors, OKGOP TV, Chairman McClain for letting me give veterans in Oklahoma. My sponsors, Prater Roofing and Construction, Heathen Laser Engraving, Active Duty RX, Barrage Coffee, and American Wholesale Hemp. Amazing show today. I hope it helps y'all. I hope y'all reach out to my guests that were here today. Stick around next week. We drop shows here every Thursday, 7 p.m. See you next week.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's the handwritten letters from home. It's the sleepless nights alone.